your first skill and then one example for your last skill just because it's a little bit longer. So this problem says, what is the value of the expression when x is equal to 2? So since we know that x is equal to 2, we can substitute the value 2 in for x into this expression. This is an expression because it does not have an equal sign. If you see an expression and it has an equal sign, that makes it an equation. So this equal sign makes something an equation. If it doesn't have an equal sign, it just has a combination of letters, numbers, and operations, it's an expression. So since we know that x is equal to 2, let's substitute 2 in for x into our expression. So that means that we're going to use 2 instead of x. So I'm going to rewrite this equation, but instead of x, I'm going to put 2. So we're going to have 2 plus 2, right? We substituted in this 2 from there. So that means that when we evaluate our expression or we solve it, we get that this expression is equal to 4. So our final answer for this would be 4. That one was pretty simple. Let's try one that's a little bit more difficult. So same problem. We know the value of our variable. So z in this case is equal to 9. But we have a couple of more operations. Whenever you see a number and a letter next to each other in algebra, there is implied multiplication. So I'm going to show you what this looks like if I were to write this out a little bit differently. Sorry, my handwriting's, let me rewrite that, that's ugly. Plus 8. So this says 7z, but really we want to think of this as 7 times z. So in this expression, we have both multiplication and addition. So we need to remember our order of operations, and we need to remember that we do multiplication before addition and subtraction. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to substitute in 9 for z into our expression. So let's rewrite our expression, but instead of z, we're going to put 9. Ooh. And we're going to have to remember to put, anytime you substitute, you always want to use parentheses. So this will be 7 times 9 plus 8. And this is the 9 that we substituted in. So now we need to multiply before we add. So 7 times 9 is 63 plus 8. And 63 plus 8, I believe, is 71. I can always go, I'm not feeling that well, but I believe, yeah, 71. So you can always go back and double check your work. But a lot of this is just put into your calculator. And actually, if you were to put this into your calculator, it should spit out the answer properly for you. And I'll show you that in a future example on the last one. All right, let's look at this example. So this example, we have equations for 2 variables. We have an expression with 2 variables, and we know what both of those variables equal. So this problem is telling us that w is equal to 4 and x is equal to 2. So we're going to rewrite this expression, but instead of w, we're going to put 4, and instead of x, we're going to put 2. And then we're also going to remember to always use our parentheses because this is multiplication. This is not 84, right? This is 8 times 4 minus 5 times 2. So again, our order of operations tell us that we have to multiply before we divide and before we subtract. So when we multiply 8 times 4, 8, 16, 24, 32, minus 10, 32, right? We multiplied there. And now we can subtract. So this will give us 22. Okay, I always put a box around my final answer. You should too. This shows me that this is my final answer, right? Otherwise, who knows where you stopped? And if you write things in chronological order like this, you write out nice steps, it's really easy for me as your teacher to follow along with your math reasoning. Let's look at one more like this. So this one has exponents, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. But we only have one variable, so thank God. We only have z here. So again, I'm going to substitute this value 2 in for each of my z's using parentheses. So we're going to have 8 2 in parentheses squared minus 8 times 2 plus 2. And we substituted each of those in there. So our order of operations, say we do exponents before we do anything else. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do 2 squared. So 8 times 2 squared is 2 times 2, or 2 times itself 2 times. We're going to bring everything else down. Then let's work on our multiplication. So 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 2 is 16. And bring down our addition and subtraction. And then we can just, addition and subtraction are grouped together. So we just do this from left to right. 32 minus 16 is 16, plus 2, and 16 plus 2 is 18. Boom, final answer, put it in a box. And now I'm going to show you that if you were to just put this line into your calculator, that you would get the same answer. So if I were to on Delta Math and I put, well, hopefully if I did my math right, 2 in parentheses, and then I clicked the squared button, minus 8 times 2 plus 2, we get our answer of 18. So you can just substitute, making sure you use parentheses, because your calculator understands order of operations and it understands parentheses. As long as you put this in the calculator correctly, then you will get the right answer. And for the second skill, I forget what it's called, like evaluating expressions in context. I'm going to read this to you. So it says, Adrian is going to a movie and is taking his 4 kids. Each movie ticket costs $14, and there are an assortment of snacks available to purchase for $4 each. How much total money would Adrian have to pay for his family if he were to buy 5 snacks for everybody to share? How much would Adrian have to pay if he bought X snacks for everybody to share? So off the bat, right, you have to go to the movies, you have to purchase movie tickets. So we know that off the bat, Adrian is purchasing 5 movie tickets, 1 for him and then 4 for his 4 kids. So he's purchasing a total of 5 movie tickets, and it tells us that the movie tickets cost $14. So that means off the bat, he's paying $14 times 5 people. And I believe that's $70. Yes. So he's paying $70 just to get into the movies, right? And then he also wants to get snacks, and it tells us that the snacks are $4 each. So again, it's 5 people going, right? So if he's paying $4 each for 5 people, if he buys 5 snacks, right? So total cost with 5 snacks would be another $20. So if he buys 5 snacks and we know how much he's buying, then he's paying a total of $90, right? That's 70 plus 20. The cost of the movie tickets plus the cost of the snacks. That's only if we know how many snacks he's buying. But if we don't know how many snacks he's buying and he's buying X snacks, remember that we use variables when we don't know the amount. Then instead of saying that he's buying 5 snacks, instead of saying that he's buying 5 snacks, we want to say he's buying X snacks, right? And then we don't know how much he's paying. So we would just rewrite this as 4X. So he would be paying $70 plus 4X for the snacks, right? Or we could rewrite this, and if you look at the title of this particular, actually, let me pull this up. This is, this skill is called Write Expressions from Context, MX plus B. And MX plus B is an expression that describes a linear equation. So if we wanted to rewrite this in that form, MX plus B, we could rewrite this 70 plus 4X as 4X plus 70. And typically in math, we want to put our variable terms first. So this would be my preferred way, or my preferred final answer. But both of these are equivalent. They're equal. Okay?